in the region, as I worked on immigration issues as the founder of the largest immigrant and refugee rights organization, and later as an elected representative. I know how much every one of you has been doing for years and even decades to help us achieve this truly transformational and historic moment in our country, where representation of our communities and our diversity is growing at every single level, from the highest levels, including to those at the state level with the great leadership of Representative Tai and Senator Nguyen. And I know that together, with your engagement and your work, we can continue this movement to build a brighter, more inclusive, more just future that makes all of us proud. I look forward to working alongside of you every step of the way. So thank you and Happy New Year. Chúc mừng, nguoi.
Mừng năm mới, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And this year's protest provided a flashpoint in the intergenerational dialogue about racism and police brutality, especially amongst Vietnamese American households. State Representative Tram Nguyen inspired us and beautifully reflected the community's changing outlook on social activism and a concept of justice for all.
So please join us in welcoming Massachusetts Representative Tram Nguyen.
Thank you so much, Cookie and Ben, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you so much to the Planning Committee for inviting me to speak to at tonight's Tết Gala. Kính chào quý vị. Good evening. I'm so honored to be a part of this community whose activism and historic civic engagement made the difference in bringing President Biden and Vice President Harris to the White House along with their exciting new administration. And it's also wonderful to have Congressman Jayapal join us here today as well. As we celebrate the Year of the Ox and a new administration, I am elated to see so many of you donning your áo dài and looking so elegant at tonight's virtual celebration. I especially want to say hello to my family members who are watching right now. The feeling of community and pride is strong tonight, no matter what technological barriers stand between us, right? And so civic engagement is so important, more important than ever in our community. This past year has been such a difficult year for many, including Vietnamese Americans, with their businesses, jobs, housing, and family ties and friendships tested by the pandemic. And especially Vietnamese Americans, like other Asian groups, other Asian communities, were fairly casted by the last administration as being the cause of this virus, which was such an unfortunate thing. But despite all this, 2020 was a year of amazing organizational efforts from our community. My gratitude goes out to the countless Vietnamese Americans, volunteers, poll workers, campaign staff, and voters who helped and influenced others to register and vote. We in the Vietnamese American community know a lot about creating opportunities from challenges and crises, right? So this Tết and the Year of the Ox calls for resiliency, strength, and confidence. And I encourage you all to continue to educate your friends and family, get them excited about policy and getting involved in public service that has an impact on each and every one of our daily lives. So let's resolve to be more active than ever in raising awareness about the needs of our community members in state and in both the state and the country, transcending borders and cultural barriers. And I encourage you all to foster an environment where your families and peers and coworkers and friends feel empowered to let their intergenerational perspectives be heard. Whether you're a grandparent, mother or father, aunt or uncle, or young adult or teen, your voice and perspective matter so much more in this democracy than you can ever imagine. And so far, we've seen a huge impact. We've already seen a difference. The Biden-Harris administration have already signed 4 anti-racist executive orders with pledges to fight discrimination and misinformation promoted against minority communities by the last administration. One of these orders takes direct aim at xenophobia and hate against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, directing the Department of Health and Human Services to outline best practices for advancing cultural competency, language access, and sensitivity to Asian American and Pacific Islanders in the federal government's COVID-19 response response, which is just so crucial at this time. And also in the order is a directive for the U.S. Department of Justice to work with Asian Americans and Pacific Islander communities to prevent hate crimes and harassment against the AAPIs. President Biden was one of the first congressmen to support the resettlement of Vietnamese, Laotian, and Cambodian refugees on U.S. soil in 1975, as we all know. And with the Biden administration, we know we have an ally in the White House who understands that there is no America without strong, resilient immigrant communities like ours, which are building this country towards greatness for generations to come. The selflessness I saw in my parents led me to pursue a career in public service as an attorney, working in legal services, where I made my presence and known in the Vietnamese American community and really worked to help elevate the voices of Vietnamese Americans. In doing this work, I advocated for the most vulnerable populations at the State House, helping to secure passage of important legislation like bilingual education, earned income tax credit, and paid family medical leave, all issues that affect our communities intimately. And from this experience, I rose into my current position. I'm so proud to be the very first Vietnamese American in the Massachusetts House of Representatives, where I continue to fight for issues relating to gender, racial, economic, and environmental justice, gun safety, public education, language access, healthcare, and so much more. I'm humbled to carry this responsibility and amplify the cause of Vietnamese Americans and other minority groups. So I know I'm one of only one voice of many, right? And equally important ones in the community, which have overcome each and every challenge we have faced in our history through unity. I'm proud to serve among so many other Vietnamese American electeds. You've heard Senator Cho Nguyen and Representative Nguyen Thai from Washington, but we also have Representative B. Nguyen and Delegate Kathy Tran, and so many of you here who advocate and who are so committed to working towards a better future for all. And we need to continue this momentum and solidarity. The insights and experiences of our unwavering Vietnamese American community are exactly what the federal administration needs to hear. Now more than ever, we have a chance to come together to influence this country like we've never seen before, carving out our stake in the American dream. So thank you so much for joining us tonight at this virtual celebration. I feel an amazing power in this virtual space, this virtual room tonight, even when we're together just in this, new medium that we're getting used to during this pandemic. And I'm really excited to see what the future has to offer. And I'm more proud than ever to be a Vietnamese American this bit. And so I came here when I was 5 years old. I'm more comfortable in English, but I do want to say a couple of words in Vietnamese. Chúc mừng năm mới. Trâm xin chúc mọi người một năm mới an khang thịnh vượng, dồi dào sức khỏe và vạn sự như ý. Và rất là nhiều hạnh phúc. Hơn hết, Trâm hy vọng là chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục có quyết tâm và lòng kiên cường để tiếp tục đấu tranh cho dân chủ, tự do và bình đẳng cho tất cả mọi người. Xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Cảm ơn dân biểu Trâm Nguyễn. She was fantastic, right, Cookie?
I just can't even compare. I hope my parents never discover her. Otherwise, I'm toast. So everyone else in this world knows of the band ABBA through the movie Mamma Mia or the song My Honey. But if you're a Viet kid, I 100% know that you grew up with their song Happy New Year. Hey, Ben, do you know that the original song isn't even meant to be for happy occasion?
Now that I think about it, lyrics like feeling lost and feeling blue shouldn't represent our jubilant mood right now. But luckily, Cookie, Go Như Mai has helped us out. Please welcome ca sĩ Như Mai with a very happy and jubilant version of Vietnamese version of ABBA's Happy New Year.
But organizations like Saigon Entertainment Television, Viet Face TV, NV Radio, of course, I have to give a shout out to Viet Bao that published Joe Biden's first ever op-ed to the Vietnamese community, the first ever op-ed ever.
All right. Chào, is it Việt Thái?
Just Thai is fine.
Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Thai Viet Phang. I'm the first Vietnamese American council member here in the city of Santa Ana, which is a part of the Little Saigon area in Orange County. So, xin kính chào quý vị. Tên tôi là Thái Viet Phang, nghị viên hội đồng thành phố Santa Ana, người Mỹ gốc Việt đầu tiên làm nghị viên ở Santa Ana.
Welcome. Lung, I see you next. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Lân Diệp, former council member in the city of San Jose. Chúng tôi là nghị viên Diệp Thế Lân. Rất là vui có mặt hôm nay với quý vị.
And I deliberately saved the best for last with that adorable picture. Delegate Kathy Chung.
Hello, chị Mỹ Linh. Đây là Kathy Chung, delegate của Virginia, tiểu bang Virginia, gần Washington DC, gần Fairfax. Này là em bé Bảo Châu.
Châu.
It's so adorable.
Okay, mình còn thiếu Joe Nguyễn của tiểu bang Washington, nhưng mà trong cái khoảng thời gian chờ đợi Joe trở lại với mình thì trong cái dịp năm mới này và cũng trong cái dịp mình celebrate cái sự mình celebrate the coming together of Vietnamese American. I give up. I'm attempting to speak Vietnamese. Just go for what I can do. Really a quick opportunity to shout out to, let's see, 128 viewer on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. And I really would like this opportunity to invite you to share with the Vietnamese American across our country, our home. We are going to claim it. This is our home, period. First question, Kathy, what is your number one policy that you're working on this year, 2021?
Come on, Mỹ Linh. So, the legislative session has started, and we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it, and my number one policy right now is to protect our DMV data and making sure that we do everything to keep it private. Particularly last year, I passed a bill to allow undocumented immigrants to drive and get driving credentials. And so that took place on January 1st of this year. And so we also want to make sure that we are not allowing ICE to access our DMV data and put our undocumented immigrant friends and neighbors on a path to deportation. So I'm protecting it for them and for all of us, because we know a lot of the companies are using the data and selling it and passing it along. Bao Chao agrees. That's an important policy.
I agree. Yes. And the only reason you can do that is because Virginia, as the assembly, the state of Virginia, get to turn blue, a trifecta. And am I correct? There's more women being elected in the right? Or am I thinking of Nevada?
Well, you're thinking, so we also have more women elected in Virginia than at any time before, but I was elected in 2017 and we flipped 15 seats then. And then we, in 2019, won a Senate and House Democratic majorities. And so we are now we have a trifecta, and we, just voted yesterday to abolish the death, today's Saturday. What day is today? Is today Saturday? Yes. So just yesterday was Friday. We voted to abolish the death penalty. And so I think both the House and the Senate passed that. That's going to reach the governor. We are legalizing marijuana in Virginia. We are doing a lot on criminal justice reform. We're pushing electric vehicles for the environment. So we're doing a lot of really important work that we can only do with a Democratic majority. So we're really excited about that.
Congratulations. We moved to a little more in terms of local government, but so important. So, Council Member Lân, could you share with us what's your most your top priority for this year in the area of your serving?
Yeah, so I live in San Jose, California, and it's the city with the most Vietnamese people, or outside of Vietnam. I know Orange County gets Little Saigon, and they're the capital, but that's a lot of small cities bunched together. San Jose, and then Houston, and I'm not sure what else. But I recently didn't make it through re-election, but I'm still here, and I'm still trying to bring good information to our community. With more time, I'm going to try to do some writing in Vietnamese and English. I have a Vietnamese Facebook page, Vietnamese language Facebook page. I'm trying to disseminate information about COVID and vaccines, and making sure that our community gets accurate information. This year, nationwide is also redistricting, and I want to make sure that our community gets engaged in that, is participating in that process, and paves a way to see another Vietnamese American return to the city council in 2 years.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for your work. And Thai, share with us your top priority, and congratulations and welcome to a small family of elected Vietnamese American across our home.
Thank you. I'm so excited because here in Orange County, as Lân mentioned, we are kind of the capital of the diaspora outside of Vietnam. But in Orange County, we only have 4 Vietnamese Democratic electeds. And so I'm very proud to be the 4th. And, the biggest issue in Santa Ana is really to bring Vietnamese language services to our residents. We are a very progressive city. In fact, we have 4 millennials on the dais. We're a progressive majority. But with progress with COVID, tenant, rent relief and homelessness relief, all of these programs, our residents can't get those services if there are no services in Vietnamese. So that is my #1 priority. And I know for me, that's a social justice issue, that's an economic justice issue, and it's a representation issue. So I'm very excited, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with redistricting here. Obviously, we have 2 Asian American women who ended up in Congress, but they don't necessarily represent our values. And so it's really important that we engage our community who tend to be Republican and say, no, I'm a proud Democrat, and let me tell you why you should be too.
Awesome, because like on my screen right now, I see East Coast to West Coast, and absolutely is amazing. So just share quickly about my session. I'm in the middle of sessions as well. There's so many important work, but what I like to see is being able to really start changing at the system level. And so one of the legislation I'm introducing with the short title, Equity Impact Statement, because many of our legislations really being viewed through one single view of how much it costs, the money, the dollar sign, instead of human lives. And so with equity impact statement, the intent is that for any legislation being brought forward, it need to examine which community are being impacted negatively. And hopefully we can move a lot more meaningful legislations that really truly put people first. Before I let you go, this is just a symbol of amazing elected Vietnamese American across our country. Let's have a quick shout out, as if if you would chúc Tết your parents, how would you do it? And Thai, I'm gonna throw at you. Go first.
Xin kính chào quý vị và mẹ của Thái. Thái chúc mẹ dĩ nhiên là sống lâu trăm tuổi, sức khỏe dồi dào, tiền vô ào ào, tiền ra như nước giọt. Mà quan trọng nhất là năm nay Thái rất buồn không có cho mẹ đi Việt Nam được. Thầy thường mẹ đi du lịch, nhưng mà Thái hy vọng năm nay ăn bánh tét chung với mẹ sẽ vui vẻ hơn.
Beautiful. Council Member Lân.
Is this to our parents?
Yes. You have a chance to go back in time.
Okay. Thưa ba mẹ, năm xuân nhân tiện năm mới năm Sửu, con xin chúc ba mẹ nhiều sức khỏe, may mắn, vạn sự như ý, nhiều hạnh phúc do con và em trai con ở Long mang đến cho gia đình, và mong ba mẹ vẫn tiếp tục ủng hộ và hãnh diện về con. But as a generality, my catch-all when public speaking is thân chúc toàn thể quý vị thân tâm an lạc, vì có thế là có tất cả.
Oh my gosh, you bring tears to my eyes. I could only imagine when we in the same room together. That would be amazing. Delegate Kathy.
Chị Mỹ Linh, this makes me think of when I used to call my bà nội trước khi bà nội qua đời, đang chúc Tết cho bà nội. But thưa ba mẹ, con chúc Tết ba mẹ năm nay có nhiều sức khỏe, có nhiều thì giờ chơi với cháu ngoại, cháu nội, có nhiều thì giờ đi ra vườn bóng, trồng bóng cho vui vẻ, and có nhiều sức khỏe, may mắn năm nay. It's so wonderful. I feel like I can call them now.
Oh, right. I know. For me, my mom passed away. So this is something sort of going a little forward. Thưa mẹ, con xin thắp ném nhang này để mà nhớ thương về mẹ. Con hy vọng là khi mẹ nhìn lại, và mẹ sẽ rất là hãnh diện với chúng con và các cháu của mẹ. Hiện giờ mẹ ở nơi đâu, hy vọng là mẹ tiếp tục phù hộ cho các cháu được yên bình, và tất cả các anh chị bạn, cô bác, cô chú đang theo dõi chương trình một năm mới tràn đầy hạnh phúc và nhất là giữ gìn sức khỏe. Hy vọng mọi người sẽ nhận được cái vaccine càng sớm càng tốt, để mà chúng ta có thể trở lại trong cái niềm vui đón xuân năm sau. Rất là vui mừng được có thời gian trò chuyện với các bạn. Bên Ca Dao, chị chuyển lại cho em.
Dạ, em cảm ơn chị. Cảm ơn electeds for coming to our celebration. We hope to see you in the future. I would like to pass it on to you, and Ben, actually.
I know, that was such a touching piece, right, Cookie?
So much so.